9/10 showed us, how good life was. 9/10 showed us how it was great to have everything. 9/11 showed us how fast that could be taken away. They could all be taken away. And 9/12 showed us all how to be better Americans, how to be better people to each other.
9/11, a day of reflection for America, takes on another meaning for many who were personally affected by the tragedy. Former NYPD first responder Rob O'Donnell recalls the day as devastating.
I mean, it hurts to this day. 9/11 is not a 20-year anniversary for me. Every day for me is September 11th, 2001 plus one. Every day is just another day after 9/11 for me. It started off as a normal day, and it was a typical big occurrence in New York. We've had plane crashes before. We've had blimps crash in New York City and Manhattan. When that first plane hit, it wasn't unknown if it was a private plane, what had happened, and if it was some kind of pilot error or what had taken place. And then watching that, seeing the second plane fly in, I don't think anyone who's been in the military or public safety background had any doubt that we were under attack. And that's when it changed. I had family in the building. My brother worked in the World Trade Centers. Thankfully, he was able to get out that day and was not there. I knew my friends in the police department would be the first to enter that building. My friends in the fire department would be the first to enter that building. I started my career in Manhattan, so I know the area very well. And I responded directly down there. And, I arrived on the Brooklyn Bridge just as the first tower came down. It was devastating.
O'Donnell was a member of the New York Shields Pipes and Drums Band made up of New York police. One of their first appearances together after 9/11 was the St. Patrick's Day Parade in 2002 in Savannah.
And as soon as we landed in Savannah, the Chatham County sheriffs met us at the airport with a bus, took us to our hotel. We had escorts the entire time we were there, showing us the city, and it was definitely a gracious outpouring by the people of Savannah. And since then, Savannah's become my second home. I've traveled to Savannah and Tybee Island every year on vacation.
The band were named Grand Marshals and received the key to the city of Savannah from Mayor Floyd Adams.
It was a great event, great outpouring, and it was great for us mentally and personally. It was our first escape from what we've all been doing in New York City as far as rescue and recovery. It was a year later. It was finally time for us to take a breath. Air travel was starting to get back to normal, although our plane coming down was quite empty. But the people on the plane felt very reassured that they had 25, 30 of NYPD's finest coming down to visit Savannah.
O'Donnell says 2020 was his first time to return to Ground Zero.
I haven't been able to personally return to the site. I've drove by it many times doing other things, but to physically walk and visit the site. Last year was my first time to visit. That was the first time I was able to mentally be prepared to go back and see that. And it was an emotional take. I've seen what terrorism does to our country. I was at the 93 World Trade Center bombing. I was at 9/11. I've dealt with the Fort Dix terror plot in 1997. And my son was in the building at the Naval Air Station Pensacola shooting. So I know firsthand 4 terrorist attacks on our country, what these men and women in our military and our law enforcement are preventing each and every day. After it happened, you could have placed me on Mars and I would have had the same feeling, the same aura around me, because this is a place I knew very well. I was very familiar intimately with, and it just looked like another planet. It was just pulverized, dust and debris. And in my time in recovery there, because being a detective, we did all the sifting through the rubble and searching to give closure to the families that we couldn't survive, that we couldn't save. I didn't see one desk, I didn't see one phone, I didn't see one computer, I didn't see one chair. Everything was just dust and pulverized, and it was just devastating to me and angry that they did this to my city.
He shares as he reflects on the 20-year anniversary, he hopes people will live every day like it's 9/12. Reporting in Savannah, Kaylin Jackson, WSAV Now.